Today we're talking security, just like we did yesterday, Ekpoma incident. In fact, if you go online, you hear them saying Ekpoma is bleeding. So we had the Commissioner of Information, Mr. Kasim Afegwa, yesterday on the program to talk about security. It looks like towards election, there's this surge in insecurity. Now we're talking about Benue State, in Otukpo specifically. Otukpo has been bedeviled by several attacks and killings for many, many years. And so let's bring in the chairman of the local government, Mr. Maxwell Ogiri, who is the chairman of Otukpo local government area in Benue State. Mr. Ogiri, thank you so much for coming on the program. If you could help us unmute your device, Mr. Ogiri, we can hear you loud and clear, because I can see you, but I can't hear you. Can you hear us, sir? Mr. Ogiri, can you hear us?
Yeah, let me... Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right.
Fantastic.
No.
You know, when we got the news about this latest killing in Otukpo, the natural instinct for everybody who has human feeling and empathy is just to say, not again. What happened again?
You know, thank you for having me here. Like you stated just now, Otukpo is bleeding. Darkness befell us. Throughout the Xmas period, we celebrated that Yuletide in a peaceful environment. A lot of fanfare, a lot of entertainment. Suddenly, this new year, we find ourselves in the web of violence. And it didn't just start the early hour of this morning. Prior to today, about 3 days or 4 days ago, we began to notice some activities of some strangers. And they were taking down on any soft targets. They've been to different homes, killed the man of the house, and then take away the wife and the child in two families. It happened like that. And we've been on the chase of them. But that of Otobi-Akpa yesterday happened. What Intel is saying is that there have been, Intel is telling us that probably these guys are in search of food and water and other things. So they see Otobi-Akpa as a clear place where they can get some of this stuff. They went to a shop. Few persons were there trying to drink and share their normal gist. And they entered there and began to fire on them and killed the four immediately. When the town went into stampede, they went into the store, carted away with some money, some cooked food and raw food before the local vigilante in the community responded, and they ran away into the forest. At the end of their mischief, about 4 persons were killed. That is what we have for the moment. However, the security agencies have been mobilized, and more reinforcement is heading towards that place. We know that we will overwhelm them, we will decimate them eventually, and bring the community back to peace again.
Ms. Ogiri, let's talk about local efforts or state government effort, because it's almost supposed to be, permit my words now, common sense to be able to protect yourself before major help comes. So my question is, at the local level, at your local government level, what are you doing to protect your people? I know that you don't have command and control of any of the security apparatus, but you have to protect your people. What are the measures? On the other hand, I know that under the administration of former Governor Samuel Otom, he has set up this community guard. I've forgotten the full name now. What has happened to that community guard core, if you will?
Yes, the current administration, headed by the governor of Benue State, the very Reverend Father Yonem Alia, rebranded that outfit and is christened the Benue State Civil Protection Guard. And the state government have been funding the activities of this group. And they've been very up and doing in trying to secure our communities. They've been handy, quick response in trying to safeguard the communities. And they are in every angles of our community, all the districts, all the villages, the wards have the civil protection guards, and we do it in such a way that at any time there is a point of call for response, we draw from different villages and villages and wards to help to repel any act of violence against such a community. Just like what happened yesterday, apart from the community formation of the Civil Protection Guard headed by Comrade Jackson, other elements from other places ran to that place to see how they can safeguard that community that moment. There are other security measures this morning that have been put in place, including the activities of the response of the military, the Commissioner of Police sending more troops down there. But these are what would I call a reactionary measure, which is also necessary. But in view of what we have in our hand, it is a wake-up call for us to re-engineer the activities, the operational activities of the Civil Protection Guard to be more proactive in their operations.
Mr. Green, as the political head or leader in that local government, as the chairman of the local government area, what, in your view, is responsible for making Otukpo such a hotbed for these levels of attack?
When that New Year attack on banditry in part of Northwest, Northeast, and North Central and Kwara states, you may not be able to get all these elements in that one attack on them. Some of them that survived it will begin to look for how to move towards a safe haven. I think in the process, some of these elements came to our place trying to see how they can assimilate into the society and then look for survival. So in doing that, they need to kidnap, they need to kill to instill fear, and what we are seeing them doing now.
Oh, Mr.
Yes. Let me add to this. The issue of the fallout from the New Year attacks on banditry, we also have some pocket of court-related activities, which we have been able to nip in the bud at any time it raises its head. But what has happened now, I think, is a wake-up call for all of us, both those in government and those outside the government, to put our hands on the deck and see how we can arrest this ugly situation. Let it not instill more fear and blood in our community.
The last time I interviewed the governor, Father Hyacinth Elia, as I was talking to him, and as though, it has so happened that you can almost predict it will happen again. And I did say, but what is the government, led by the governor itself, what is it doing to ensure that this is nipped in the bud? Besides the measures, you have listed some in passing, But there has to be, they said sometimes desperate times it demands desperate measure. I remember the president had to visit Benue when the issue around the locality, he couldn't visit that community because of the rain and the road and all of that. But after then, we're still seeing attacks happen, although maybe not as much in the scale it happened. Maybe you'll tell me that as well. But my question is, what exactly is the government doing in terms of strong action in collaboration with the federal government to do the best they can to protect the people of Benue State? Benue has been, the needless killings, the needless deaths is becoming unbearable and unacceptable. And the responsibility of government is to protect lives and property. So what exactly is Governor Eisen doing, strongly in your view, to send a clear signal to the people of the state that we've got your back, and to the criminals that we won't tolerate this anymore?
You see, of an executive to do certain security measures, apart from the ones that are local. You know the character and pedigree of the governor, the Dr. Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia. You know that he's a man of thoroughness. He's a man of diligence. And he has put that even in the issue of tackling insecurity in Benue State. And he's not leaving any stone unturned. You know, when it happened like this, the best a governor or a chief executive of a local government can do is to deploy enough strategy, fund, and stratagem, and also call for collaborators, partners within the states or community, so that it is not like a one-man show. Why the governor is doing his own and had marshaled us out as chairmen of different local government to do likewise, we still need a lot of partnership with the locals, so that the effort will not be a frustrating one. A single man cannot shoulder the task of securing a community alone. Everybody needs to be part of it. And this is a wake-up call, like I said earlier, for all of us to wake up. The time for sleeping and slumber should be over.
Ms. Agri, we hope it doesn't happen again. I wish I could say it won't happen again, but I'm worried that we're not confident that that will not happen again. The governor may not have command of the police, the army, and all of that, but he has control. Sorry, he doesn't have control. You know, he has a bit of command, you know, because he meets with service service commanders in that sense to be able to provide.
Because we are in the open air. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please.
Because we are in the open air, there are certain strategies this morning that the governor has pushed out. It won't be wise for me to, because I don't know the kind of people that are listening to us. But I assure you, so many things have been put together that this ugly incident will not happen again. I assure you that. And I assure the people of my community and the people of Benue State and Nigeria entirely that this ugly issue will not happen again.
Well, my religious self will say amen to it, and we hope it doesn't happen because we're talking about lives here. Mr. Ogri Maxwell is the chairman of Otukpo local government area of Benue State. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you.